All right, so now we're going to continue from where we left off. Now, in the last video, I showed you about taking a verb. We used pretty basic verbs like hablar, and what you can do to form the subjunctive. What we did was we went to the yo form, which was hablo. You drop the o, and then you add the opposite ending. And in this case, hablar is an AR verb. As you can see, it's an AR verb. So what we do is we add the letter E to make the yo form. We would continue the pattern. We'd add es to hables, hable, hablemos, vosotros habléis, y ellos, ellas, ustedes hablen. So that worked out really well for us with hablar, comer, escribir, I believe were the verbs you had. There's nothing real special about those verbs. Now, the reason why I had you doing the yo form and dropping the yo and doing that whole process was because when we have several verbs that have an irregular form in the present indicative in that yo form, and all of those are still going to kind of keep true to that present tense conjugation. Remember, this is present subjunctive. We learned before it was present indicative. They're still present tense. So like when I say yo hable, I'm still saying I speak. We just have other factors that make it, it changes grammatical mood. Now, so we have a verb like conocer, for example. Conocer, in the yo form, in the present indicative, it is conozco. Now, that is just the yo form is the only one we use that with. That's the yo form in the present indicative. In the present subjunctive, it's going to kind of stay true to that root, you know, as an I know, conozco, I know. But in the present subjunctive, what we do is we drop the O of the ending, and being that it is an ER verb, we will add A to the end because we use the opposite ending. And this will continue on. Conozcas, conozca, conozcamos, conozcáis, and ellos conozcan. So you can see even that ZC of the end of the stem there actually continues throughout the entire conjugation. This is why it is essential that you are sticking to that yo form process. Yo form, drop the yo, add the opposite ending. I'm going to show you a few more. There are several verbs in the present tense subjunctive that have an irregular yo form. Decir, for example, it's another one, ends up becoming yo digo. So it's an IR verb now. You drop the O still, and it's an IR verb. So the opposite ending of an IR verb is an A. I'll do this. This will be the last one I'll conjugate all the way out for you. The rest of them, just make sure you follow the pattern. But you can see they all start with that dig from digo, and then your opposite endings, all of them start with the letter A being the opposite ending. And here we are. So let's do a few more, just examples. Hacer, yo form va ser is, let's keep it even. It's hago, drop the O, opposite ending of an ER verb is the letter A. We get yo haga. Oír, oír is oigo. It's an IR verb. Drop the O. Opposite ending of an IR verb is the A. Oiga. Poner becomes pongo in the yo form. Drop the O. Opposite ending. Ponga. So you might recognize some of these from when we did the commands, the formal commands. Those, what you see right now, haga, oiga, ponga, diga, conozca. Some of them used more often than others, but those are the same verbs that we learned back when we were learning the commands, the conjugations for formal commands. Also the root for, you know, the ustedes commands, the -to commands. We didn't get into the other ones yet, but when we get there, you're going to see it's going to be a lot easier. So seguir, yo form simply is sigo. So it's a little bit of a weird conjugation, but just follow the rules. Sigo, S-I-G, is our stem. It's an IR verb. And siga, sigas, siga, sigamos, sigais, sigan. Tener. And there, hopefully we all recognize that's tengo, drop yo, opposite ending, tenga. Traer, just a few more we'll do. Traigo, and most of that, the spelling, Traigo. A lot of people miss that I in there. Traiga. Venir becomes vengo. Drop the O, higher verb. A is the ending. Ver. Veo. This one's a little bit unique. Becomes veo. The E is on there. And normally you would just drop the, you would have V as your stem, the present tense indicative, and drop the ER at O. Here we keep the E still. But in the subjunctive, it's going to be in every form. Bea, beas, bea, beamos, beais, beam, así. So you can see it's going to be essential that you know the yo form of the present indicative very well. I'm going to give you some practice with that to conjugate present tense, the yo form a whole bunch, because if you don't, you can see, every single one of these, you have to know the yo form. You have to know the yo form in order to have success with this conjugation. So if you're not still very strong at conjugating the present tense, in particular the yo form of the indicative, you're going to have a real hard time with this. So you're going to have to do some catch up, get some of the practice, do some of the practice that I have online.